Two of the trickier concepts to get in physics are the independence of vertical and horizontal motion and the idea of frames of reference. This demonstrator is a little gizmo that can help you to understand both of those things. What I've got here is a ballistics demonstrator cart. It's a rolling cart, fairly low friction, low resistance, and there's a spring-loaded ball bearing launcher. When I trip the release by pulling off a tiny little magnet, it's going to launch a ball bearing straight up into the air. But what happens if I launch it while it's rolling? The launcher is built onto a cart, of course. If I fire the ball bearing straight up into the air where it's standing still, it should land right back in the cup. Okay, that's not too exciting. But if it's rolling, if the cart is moving along and the ball bearing falls up into the air, you'd think it'd fall down and miss the cart. All right, let's see what happens. Okay, did you see that? The ball still landed in the cup. In fact, the path that the ball followed is one that you might recognize. It followed a parabolic arc. It followed that shape because it continued moving horizontally at the same rate as the cart while it was flying up into the air, slowing down to the top, and then falling back down into the cup. Horizontal and vertical motion were independent. Kept on moving sideways at the same rate as the cart, so it landed right back in the cup. But what would it look like if we were moving at the same rate as the cart? In other words, if we had a camera mounted on the cart or running along with it. I built this simple camera rig so that we can see what that would look like. When I roll both the camera rig and the ballistics cart at the same time, the camera is going to be traveling right along with the cart. We should be able to see what it would look like if we were moving at the same rate as the cart when we trigger the ball bearing launcher. Let's try it. Did you see that? Moving along with the cart at the exact same speed as the cart, it looked like the ball just went up, straight up, and then back down again. Moving along with the cart at the same speed as the cart, it looks like the cart was just standing still. That's the independence of vertical and horizontal motion. In fact, if you're moving in the same reference frame as the cart and you fire it, you watch it jump up, fall back down again. If it wasn't for the moving background, you couldn't tell whether you're moving or standing still. You and the cart are in the same frame of reference. You're still moving together, so physics operates exactly the way it should. Vertical motion is accelerated, ball pops up, falls back down, but the horizontal motion, unaccelerated, is completely separate. The independence of vertical and horizontal motion explains a lot of phenomena in physics. The shape that the path of a ball makes when it rolls off of a table, or the path of a projectile when it's fired from a dart gun. Just as in the case of the cart, the ball pops up then falls back down again, but keeps the same horizontal velocity as the cart. When a ball rolls off of a table, it continues to move from one side to the other horizontally at a constant velocity, while accelerating downward under the influence of gravity. In fact, if you could move along at the same speed as that rolling ball, in the ball's frame of reference from side to side, you'd see it fall straight down, exactly as if you had dropped the ball from your outstretched hand with no horizontal movement at all. And the fact that we can break this motion down into two parts, horizontal and vertical, and solve for them separately, that allows us to solve some really complex motions in ballistic physics and break them down to the high school level and understand what's going on.